Hi, True Crew. How you doing? Welcome back to another episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like these videos. Follow on social media. Links down below. I'm not too active on that these days right now, but definitely leave a comment. I'm a little bit more active on um, getting back to people in the comment section. Coming at today with a quick video on happiness versus pleasure. If I've already made this video, I'll just delete it. I don't think I have. Happiness versus pleasure. Now, one of the authors that I really like. It's very easy, light reading. The book's, a couple hundred pages. Unfortunately, if you are anti-religion, you will have never understood, or not understood, but you will have never heard of this author probably, Matthew Kelly. I've had a couple, I've had plenty of videos with this guy's information in it. I was listening to one of his talk, and it's probably actually in this because there's 9 lessons for enduring happiness, and that's what I'm talking about. Happiness versus pleasure. So it might actually be in this book. But it's understanding the difference between happiness and pleasure. And in reality, I think this is a big reason why, like, the minimalist movement has kind of taken place, kind of taken off. People are kind of embracing that. I try to embrace that in some way, shape, or form. Just trying to live a minimalist lifestyle in reality, like doing it in layman's terms, or like the lazy minimalist, is literally just do some spring cleaning. Like if you just did spring cleaning and got rid of a couple things, I mean, you're already on your way to being a minimalist, right? So, but happiness versus pleasure. We've got to understand these things because unfortunately, when we don't, we start going down the wrong path in life and we become unhappy inside, outside. People don't want to be around us. We don't want to go outside. You could go through depression, all these different things. And so if we're not understanding happiness versus pleasure, we're not going to understand life or other people, right? It's going to prevent us from truly getting to understand and know those around us. So the basic and really great definition that Matthew Kelly came up with, and maybe it's in the dictionary. I don't know. I never looked at it. I'm sure it's not. But, or maybe it's on some other video someone says. I don't know. I just heard it here. And it's pleasure cannot be sustained past whatever you are engaging in, right? And then happiness can be sustained after you have participated in that activity, right? So that's what they say. Sometimes, Thanksgiving dinner, it's great. Everybody loves Thanksgiving, right? Food and football. But all of a sudden you eat, next thing you know, you're just sitting there and you're stuffed and your stomach hurts and, I feel like crap. But while you're eating it, this is the greatest thing on earth, right? That would be pleasure. And these are the exact same examples that he uses in the book. So something more of eating, right? We're going to do it. It feels awesome while we're doing it. Afterwards, we feel disgusted with ourselves, horrible, stomach ache, whatever, right? Sometimes it could be the same thing with alcohol, right? We feel good while we're pounding them, right? There's nothing wrong with having 1 or 2 drinks, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the next day you feel like crap and you can't move. That's pleasure. That's not happiness. Happiness, he puts something in the shape of, it's that same thing maybe where people say you have children and they're difficult but my wife's pregnant right now, so that's why I'm bringing this topic up. But you have children. It's difficult. It's tough, but at the end of the night when you're putting your baby down, all you can say is, I love them so much, I'm glad they're here, right? Or, just as they grow older, like, I'm so glad I did it. It's rare that you see parents that say, this is horrible, I wish I never had kids. It's rare, right? If you're raising your children right, they're a blessing. They're a gift from God, right? Same thing with exercise. You don't want to do it sometimes. You hate doing it, but when you do it, you feel better, right? So now the activity has ceased and you feel better. So that's the difference between happiness and pleasure. So you need to look at things in your life and then start to understand that after I complete this activity, how do I feel? Right? That's the same thing. Are you eating for pleasure? We can go this way. Are you eating for pleasure or are you eating for happiness? Right? Because I know a lot of my clients that do personal training on the side. So this is also a health and fitness channel. So check out some other topics on that. But in reality, I have clients to where when you get on that diet and you're zoned in, you feel great. And if you can stick to a really clean diet for 2, 3 months, you feel fantastic. Sometimes, yeah, the food is boring and bland and horrible. And then all of a sudden you go out and you have that pizza. Next thing you know, you're on the toilet. You've got stomach cramps. You get a headache, right? And that's because those foods are pleasure foods versus happiness foods. It's the same thing. You can understand sometimes you eat something doesn't agree with you, but in reality, a majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, if you're eating a chicken salad with tomatoes, cucumbers, a little bit of chicken, some vinaigrette dressing, some salt and pepper, some avocado, you eat that meal, you feel great, you feel pumped up, you feel light, you feel ready to go. You eat a big, heavy, steak, potatoes, and pasta, next thing you know, you want to go to sleep. So, are you eating for pleasure or are you eating for happiness in your life? Are you able to still function afterwards or even function at a higher level? So once again, I hope this helps. It gives you something to think about when it comes to happiness or pleasure, understanding where you are at in life, because in reality, we are aiming for happiness and not pleasure. Pleasure can lead us down a dark road. Happiness will take us where we need to be. So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Podcast is out there. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.